Hello, everybody. Well, good afternoon, or maybe good morning. It depends on when you are connecting from. I want to thank you very much for joining us in this online session of the Asturias Investors Days, where we're going to meet the 10 Asturian top startups with global potential. Also, as you know, we're going to get some good tips to discover together the best way to feel the joy of becoming a business angel. Yes, we have the honor to have with us Brigitte Baumann today. And as you probably know, some institutions are working really hard in Asturias to get us on the map of the global investing, and there have been the big support to make us one of the promising regions with the highest potential developing successful startups. So I think it's time to introduce you Cristina Van Hoel. She's the Managing Director of Business and Innovation Center of Asturias. Please welcome Cristina.
Hello. Thank you very much, Alicia.
Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this International Virtual Asturias Investors Day. We cannot hide, we are absolutely excited because this is our first attempt to really expand internationally our Asturias Investors Day. Let me say a few words about CEI Asturias, Business Innovation Center Asturias, one of the main promoters of this event. We are based in northwest Spain, yes, the Atlantic Spain. And we and our team is committed to provide the highest standard of business services to our client companies, startups and scale-ups, thanks to the support of the Ministry of Science and Business. We provide services of business modeling, mentoring, advice, incubator and acceleration programs, open innovation, internationalization, everything which is good to set up and to grow a company. But one of our main services is access to finance, both public and private. We have always conceived the Asturias Investors Day. Asturias Investors Day is the 6th edition this year, 23, as a milestone in the access to finance path of our companies. Of course, this is an investment forum for matchmaking projects, companies with investors, with stakeholders. This is true, but we have also conceived the Asturias Investors Day as a kind of lighthouse to really show the potential of Asturias to the world. Thank you to Agencia Sequence, our regional development agency, and SRP, our venture firm for regional promotion, and together also with the help with some and many initiatives and entities in Asturias, we strive to offer you our best these 2 days. Thank you also to the Ministry of Industry through the foundation, EOE Foundation, because thanks to their support, thanks also to the Next Generation EU funds, we have moved forward this event to the level we are showing you today. So today starts 2 really, really hard and busy days of work, but also starts a celebration. Let's start by celebrate our region, our ambition to be recognized internationally, not only as natural paradise, but also startup paradise. Let's celebrate our companies, top 10 companies, active in bio, active in circular economy, fintech, and everything. We are going to celebrate their talent and, of course, their ambition to grow and scale. And finally, let's also celebrate our strong and powerful network of alliances, especially our international alliances, EBN, European Business Network, EFINO, who is present today, also the European Business Association National. Thank you so much for your interest and commitment to the event. Don't forget, your feedback is essential to really help these companies to enter into the growth phase. So really start this celebration. Enjoy these 2 days, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Cristina. And I love when I hear her saying she founded the passion of her life. She became an angel business in 2003. And I think we're going to discover the real joy of giving wins to our entrepreneurs. I'm very pleased to receive in this set Brigitte Baumann. thank you very much for being with us. It's a great pleasure.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, and the set is all yours.
Perfect. Indeed, I'm really happy to be here because I'm celebrating my 20th year as being a business angel. And I still continue to discover, including wonderful regions as Asturias. I had not been here before, but there's an amazing buzz for any of you who have not come here before. Really, it's wonderful that you're here virtually, and hopefully you can come here in person one day. Today, what I thought I would share is a continuing journey, both about being an angel investor and also my passion for cross-border investing. From day one, I looked at not just where can I find deals locally, but also where are there amazing teams on a cross-national basis. So I'll share a little bit of those experiences with you. So a little bit to get started, I'll talk about me. I'll talk a little bit about what do we mean exactly about cross-border investing, whether we think about it from an investor point of view, but also entrepreneurship, because the best angel investing happens when there's a great relationship between an entrepreneur and an investor group. Most of the time we're groups. A little bit about the how. If we all get convinced that cross-border makes sense, how do we do that? So let us begin. So first, a little bit about my own professional journey, because it did have an impact on my angel investing journey. I am French, both parents French, grew up in France, and then at some point went to the US, and that's where I got a bit of an American accent. And I really, at first, the first part of my career was very much about getting diplomas, first in technology and engineering, working in the technology industry, and then getting a business degree, so that my dream was always to be a CEO of a big company. And I ended up taking a little bit of a sidestep to being a consultant at McKinsey, and it was great because I got to work with companies who had many different types of technologies, and also that I got to work from Asia, Kuala Lumpur, so Malaysia and Japan, to places in Europe and also the US. So I really got to see how you build technology businesses, but also how end-of-life technologies happen on that basis. And then became a whole journey of building businesses, but through large corporates. And one business became Expedia. My teams, I was at American Express, my teams brought the travel know-how. There was Microsoft brought the software know-how, and together created Expedia, and at some point it was spun out and became the company that it is today. And then there was really a time where I started wondering, okay, what next in my life? And many angel investors say that at some point they also discovered angel investing when they were in transition. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. I was in transition, and I was mentioned before, at some point I discovered, wow, I love building businesses, but I love doing it through investing, and I never looked back at being a business angel. And in that process also of building the kinds of opportunities for individuals who want to be business angels, whether they have much experience or not, whether they have a lot of money or not, and have continued to also be working with governments and public organizations on advocacy and policy making in that area. So that's a little bit my professional career. Now, how did angel investing weave into that? Well, really before kind of the early 2000s, I was typical family friend and what we call fools, because I invested when a friend usually came or a family member said, I have a great idea, and this is, my dream all this year, can you help me? You have money. And I always thought, okay, well, I'm somebody who's going more the secure track of being in larger corporations, but I love to see how people become entrepreneurs. Why don't I give money? And the first one, I lost it all. I didn't even know you could get it back. I thought it was a loan. The second one, got my money back, but then found out that the business did incredibly well, so could have made a lot of money. And when the third one came along, no longer a fool, that was when, with Expedia, I was able to be in the family and friends, investors, and that was an amazing investment. Then came the period where I had heard that, okay, this activity could be angel investing, but I really knew nothing except people said, hey, you go, you sign a check, and then you start hoping that this will be the one that will be successful. So for first years of kind of doing angel investing, it was a lot about hit or miss and nothing structured. And then it hit me, but wait a minute. It doesn't have to be hit or miss. Sure, it's high risk, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to just hope. Maybe I can do things proactively. And that's when I started learning about what it takes to be, to manage the risk and at the same time have fun, what it takes to be able to invest with others, to diversify your portfolio and also not spend 100% of your time, and also very much about how do I think about a portfolio approach, not just a deal-by-deal basis. So that's been a little bit the journey where I am. Where am I? Well, I still have quite a few active deals, around 40 active investments that already, most of them I've invested more than once, which is one of the big insights as early stage investors. Very important that we not only help the company, which is a natural thing, but also we keep money to continuously invest, even if it's small amounts, into them, because many times the next rounds can have very good terms, at least as good as the first one. So I've invested quite a bit. I do focus on investing with a community of people that I've gotten to know very well and trust. And the good news is that after so many years, I regularly get some exits, and my annualized return of the overall portfolio has been anywhere between 10 and kind of 19% per year. Right now, and especially the last few years, there has not been quite as much liquidity exits than before, but my portfolio is still doing very well. And really, once you get the bug, I find that it's very hard not to continue. Of course, it's very high risk, so all of you probably here watching know not to invest more than 2 to 10% of one's wealth into angel investing. So now, I do this as one of my activities. The bulk of my activities are with IFINO, and in IFINO, we basically help facilitate with all the experience that we have. We're 3 core founding partners. We're all angel investors, we're all entrepreneurs, so we help company entrepreneurs in their fundraising journey. We also accompany investors in their angel investing journey, individuals who want to create communities, and as I mentioned before, also governments and policies. And what is wonderful is, while I do not live here, Clara Alonso is one of the co-founding partners. She's based here. She's an active angel investor, an active member of the entrepreneurial community. So what's wonderful is we already have a foot in the door here, and that helps. And that's going to be an important message of today. When we think of doing cross-border investing, knowing already, even if it's only 1 or 2 people locally in the country where we might invest, so they can also give us the ins and outs, a little bit of what is the situation locally and what might be some of the things that are a bit different that we find in our home markets. So that's something that's very important. So specifically on the cross-border, the heart of why we are here today, and especially part of those of you thinking of coming to invest in the Asturias region. As an investor, the reason that I was in a way born a global angel investor, first thing was because in terms of my deal flow, I was I had recently moved into Switzerland, Zurich, great startups, but I really wanted to have something a bit more broader than what was available in my city. So right away, I actually joined an angel network. This was before I created, in a way, my own angel network in France. I was, because a lot of things were happening in France in sectors that I knew. In the UK, because that was kind of the place where a lot of things were happening. And in the US, especially on the impact side, I very much liked some of the things that were happening on impact investing in the US. So that's opening up. The other one linked to that is angel investing is also about investing with others. It's very, very rare, and it's not that recommended neither for the investors or for entrepreneurs to only have one, be the only one investing. So as soon as you do cross-border, it's a way to see how others invest in other places, and many times I learned a lot by seeing how angel investors do it differently in other places. Certainly, certain countries have, or regions have, risk. And so by investing in several countries, that can help. And very much, there's certain sectors. I had a lot, when I started becoming an angel investor, a lot of experience in the travel industry, a lot of experience in the payments industry. And for me, that was happening globally. So that made no sense for me to only look at doing that if I, or to only restrict myself to Zurich if I was going to look at those sectors. But what I learned that was really important, as soon as you go cross-border, it's good that you at least have some of the basic understanding of angel investing, and ideally you've done a few investments before. Because really it adds added excitement and added complexity, as we will see. Now, from an entrepreneur point of view, I'm an entrepreneur. I've raised financing from 100,000 rounds to 60 million round, and certainly cross-border is a topic that we often think about. So when I think as an entrepreneur, am I going to go cross-border to look for investors? Well, the first thing usually is that if I'm in a global sector and I think I can tap into investors who also can bring knowledge and bring it outside, it makes sense for me to go. It also makes sense if I'm going to get investors who can help me open up new markets. So if I'm here in Asturias and my next market is France, getting some angel investors from France can be very helpful. They will be able to really help me open up the market in France. And also, getting on the radar screen for later stage investors and potential acquirers, if that's what we're looking for as an entrepreneur, that usually comes through by being visible and getting investors abroad. So again, there's lots of other reasons, but as an entrepreneur, that's often the reasons that I've had. Really careful to not go out too early or without really understanding what we're going to be dealing with. So preparation, and ideally having also local angel investors before we would go abroad, can be very, very helpful. So that's a little bit on kind of why, and therefore also a little bit of when. If we move now to, okay, how? If we all have gotten excited, for those of you who are online as investors ready to come here and invest, especially now you're going to be seeing some great startups. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs thinking, okay, going abroad to get investors, how do I do it? There's lots of things, but here I've thought of kind of summarizing. The first thing for angel investors is do the basics right. Now, everybody might have a different opinion of what are the basics, but fact-based on 10 years of data in the angel community that Clara and I built, we have found that really it's good to have some of the basics for angel investing as an asset class is certainly the deal flow. Know where it comes from, get at least access to the best versus what you're looking for. Taking a portfolio approach, I mentioned that this is high risk. It means that maybe 1, 2 out of 10 will succeed, will really give us a return. Therefore, it's important that we build portfolios of at least 8 to 12 investments. It can happen a couple of years. And when we start, so even coming here, when I come to a new region, I start with relatively smaller kind of investment tickets. And then when I get the feel, when I get to know more of the local investors, more of the local startups, that's where I can invest more. That's also good practice for anywhere where you are. Making sure that we keep usually about 50% of the money that we have for when the entrepreneur is going to be looking for money again, especially if the entrepreneur might go abroad. And we're local investors. There's nothing like sending a positive signal to those foreign investors saying, you know what, we still believe in it, we're reinvesting. And making sure that we're continuously in the learning. Just like entrepreneurs are continuously learning, as investors, the investment market changes regularly. So staying on top of it, being in a community where we can exchange best practices is important. And of course, have fun while taking angel investing seriously. And even though it's money we could afford to lose for the entrepreneurs, this is their life. So treating it as money that is important, how it's spent, but having fun. So that's step one. Now, when we bring the specifics of cross-border, the first thing, and I've said it several times, and I'm saying it again, it's really getting to know some local investors. And that's why it's so great that Asturias is connecting already with a number of organizations that are international, where you, if you're part of those organizations, can get to start to know some people here, some angel investors here, or other kinds of investors. Then, you know, the practical things. What does it mean to make investments in a country? Right now, actually, I'm doing an exit, one of my investments in Switzerland, and we invested from Luxembourg, and it's been 2 months trying to figure out exactly for a power of attorney, because there's, even though it's Europe, there's some slight differences between notaries and all this. So understanding really what it will mean for the transaction, also for money coming in and out, and if there's going to be any things also on taxes or due diligence that's going to be done on you as an investor. Very much understanding the country, or the region, are there any risk, are there opportunities? So you can benchmark a little bit what could be typical terms, what could be typical valuations. I hear that the valuations here are incredibly competitive with very, very good startups. So that sometimes is a reason of why you might come do cross-border investing. And like always as business angels, we say we have 2 wings, money and support. So making sure we understand why we're going to do it, can we support the entrepreneurs? So that's a little bit the step in terms of things to be doing as in addition to the basics we do when we're thinking of making an investment, especially if it's a certain time in a new region or a new country. Now, for the entrepreneurs, what we had said a little bit before is it's great to get international investors. They can bring a lot. At the same time, it can be a whole new world. So in addition to making sure that you have a good solid base of investors locally, and that ideally some of those investors can open the doors to international investors that they know and that will make sense strategically for you, is really, really good. Also, different types of investors have different aspirations, want the business to be at a certain stage of development as a startup. So getting the timing right and the type of investor you're going to go after, again, is basics, but especially internationally. And since it can take a bit of extra time, identifying pretty early on who might be those investors and getting visible, like today at Asturias Day, Investor Day, even if it's too early, saying, by the way, hey, I see you invest in my sector. I'd love to introduce myself. Here's what we're building. We don't think we're quite ready for you. Can you confirm that, hey, you would love to stay in touch, and here's what you would love us to have achieved in order to be attractive to you? So that is quite important. And then being ready, really working exit, working backwards. So when you go internationally, that starts opening up lots of opportunities, but also lots of signals. So if you get an investor from, quote, a country that might not be viewed as a critical country for your business, that might actually hurt from the exit time. If you think you're going to be exiting in Silicon Valley, maybe getting an investor in Silicon Valley will be an amazing wow and open lots of doors beyond just investing, but maybe acquirers. And like so many things that we say to entrepreneurs when they're doing fundraising, go and test the waters before you really go out. And be as much as proactive about it, and then say, okay, we're ready, especially if you have the support of your local investors. So, in general, and as you can see, it's a subject that I'm passionate about, and again, thank you for inviting me. Little tips. Cross-border, first of all, is fascinating. Cross-border, whether it's investing or financing, but there's a few things. First of all, yes, it can be extremely rewarding, but it is risky. It is more time-consuming, and therefore, it's really open to go in with open eyes and to be as informed as possible. So even if some of you have said, oh, I don't need training, or I don't need a coach, when you do cross-border investing or financing, that might be a good time to get that. So thank you, and I think now we're going to get to see wonderful startups. I'm Brigitte Baumann, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. And my partner, Clara, is also based here. So we'd love to be in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you very much, Brigitte, for sharing with us this incredible journey of a business angel, and for these inspiring words. I'm sure very inspiring also for the investors who are connecting with us today in this online session. It's time to meet the 10 Asturian top startups with global potential, and we're going to start feeling very comfortable and sustainable with San Zalpi and by the hand of Omar Suarez. Welcome, Omar.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to hear you. Thank you.
My name is Omar Suarez, founder of San Zalpi. 28% of Europe's energy demand is mainly allocated in heating, domestic hot water, and cooling of buildings. The key problem is the lack of efficiency of these systems. The resulting situation is high energy costs and poor comfort. Then, at San Zalpi, we first created a technology that led us to the first 100% of solar off-grid building that then together with Aliberico, we compacted into retail products that then we started using for transforming old and badly insulated buildings into net zero. Without any investment in marketing, we managed to sell 1.7 million euros only at this testing stage. San Zalpi today is ready to scale because we have created the most efficient radiant systems ever. San Zalpi Dress is modular, very easy to install, and perfect for new buildings. San Zalpi Panel is the only radiant system similar that can be installed like traditional water radiators, but for heating and cooling. And that's possible because basically, these retail products are the key to sustainable living. But most importantly, we provide a better life for our customers because we can increase the value of their homes above the investment. They can save up to 95% in energy. They can enjoy better comfort, health, and energy independence. Because we are breaking technical barriers, like increasing the performance of heat pumps by 250%, or converting any building into a thermal battery. This technology today is already protected with 2 granted patents. Our market is a combination of the energy market and the heating and cooling markets. Technically, we have created a blue ocean. After this this product development phase, we are moving to B to C phase. Actually, these days we have currently signed an agreement with a major European manufacturer of heat pumps to distribute our retail products throughout Europe. Our intellectual property actually goes beyond our current business plan, which actually is also a big opportunity because we are currently transforming any photovoltaic panel into 100% efficient one. Or as well, for example, we have tested that our technology can be the best to cool down data centers. During the last 3 years, we have had a stable team of 10 professionals forming a great synergy with our more than 50 investors and partners. And these figures, they show how much we have done with so little. Actually, now that we are ready to scale, also shows what a great business opportunity we are. Until our previous round, we raised 1.4 million. We are now in our Series A, and that we are going to invest in marketing, commercial network development, and industrial manufacturing. We have not set yet our value because we are waiting for an external report that will determine the value of our IP. Okay? And finally, I think we can be, let's say, the Apple, the Tesla of the energy transition if you help us transform this world into a more sustainable and better one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omar.
Thank you.
If you agree, we can open now the session of questions and answers so that we can give the opportunity to investors to cooperate with your company, okay?
Thank you.
I don't know if we have...
No questions. No?
I think we have no questions, but maybe afterwards you can ask or send them to have Omar with his time to answer any question if you want to know something about his incredible company. Thank you, Omar. Thank you very much. And now we are moving to a mini wind market, and we're going to do it with another great company, Revolution, and by the hand of his CEO, Pablo Ouro. Thank you, Pablo.
Thanks
Welcome.
so much.
Good luck.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pablo Ouro. I'm the founder and head at Revolution. And as you can see in the slide, we do design, build, and distribute vertical axis wind turbines for mini wind. But I'm not going to start with that. I'm going to say that we are a company that wants to fight climate change, because I don't know where you're based in, but today is 18th of October. In Asturias, it's 25 degrees when it should be 13. And 10 days ago, it was 32. So we can't deny climate change is here. And this is our tool to provide people a solution to mitigate this. Because whether we like it or not, climate change is accelerating its pace. So we are living in a net zero revolution. We are talking about offshore wind. We are talking about different solutions. But the problem is, if you think of a farmer, if you think of a small industry, what do they do to become self-sufficient in an energy point of view? They buy solar panels, but they produce from 10 to 7, if they do, especially in summer, and very little during winter. So you can install a wind turbine. But then, if you're looking for a Vestas or a Siemens turbine, it's over €1 million per megawatt of power. You can't afford it. You can't put a 30 meters high turbine in the middle of a city. So the option that we see there is a market is in the mini wind, and this is between 3 and 100 kilowatts in power. But all the technology out there is just poor in the aerodynamic design and also in the mechanics. So we are seeing there is a huge gap in technology that we need to fill with our technology. And the number says that by 2028, we are going to have a market that is beyond the 15 billion euros worldwide. Here you can see the launch of the product is a 7 kilowatt vertical axis wind turbine with a peculiarity of wooden blades. It's the first one and the only one in the world. So it's fully recyclable, which is another topic with wind turbines that is becoming problematic. And the other gift that you've seen is one of the first trials of the turbine that we have tested recently. We name our turbines by the characteristics they have. For instance, the first digit is F. It could be a fixed diameter or a variable diameter, which we have a patented system. Then the number 7, it could be 720 or 100, which is the kilowatts, the power of the turbine, because that is our range, that is our catalog. Then is the material of the blades. It could be made of wood, as I said before, aluminum, and we have some other choices. And the final one is that the technology could be used for grid connected, so a customer can just directly grid connect the turbine. Being an isolated connection, if you live remotely, you want batteries, you can get this technology out there. And we are looking at hybridization with solar, hydrogen, and so forth. The team at Revolution is myself and a structural consultancy. And here I list some of the achievements that we have achieved over the last 10 years, which started with my PhD and R&D activities in the UK, looking at vertical axis turbines and a number of consultancy projects. Last year, we were finalists of this Asturias Investors Day. We got a fairly good grant from the Asturias government, and we are pushing to have the 7 kilowatt turbine out in the market next year. Our competitors, there are not that many, but our main advantage is the performance. You want the wind turbine to get a lot of energy from the wind. If you don't do, your machine is rubbish. So that's what we are trying to complement here, to have the best technology at the best cost as possible. These are our forecasts in terms of income, expenses, and number of turbines to be sold in Spain, Europe, and worldwide, with the release in the commercial phase of the 7 kilowatt turbine next year, 20 kilowatt by 2025, and then the 100 kilowatts by 2027. But what do we need for that? We need to grow our engineering team to be in-house. We need to have our own assembly facilities to lower costs, because at the end we are competing with solar. Solar is crazy cheap. We need to lower costs down and also apply this value to marketing and open up to other projects, hydrogen, hybridization with solar, and so forth. So with this, I would like to welcome you to join us in our revolution.
Thank you very much, Pablo. I think, well, we have two possibilities of making questions. I see now we have some questions in our chat, of the Zoom chat, and of course, Omar will know them, and then he will answer them. I will ask you to raise your hand so that we can see you in the screen making the question. For the moment, we have no questions here, but maybe in the chat. I have to say you that everything was too clear.
Okay, that's fine.
But maybe I have to remind our investors that we have this feedback form. Please complete them, and then we can share them with Pablo and with all the entrepreneurs. Thank you, Pablo.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. So we have to welcome now Aida Fernandez, and we are going to enter in AI and financial expertise ecosystem. Welcome, Aida.
Hi, Alicia.
The stage is all,
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Thank you. Yeah, so as Alicia mentioned, my name is Aida Fernandez Riet. As a person born in Asturias and raised in Asturias and educated in Asturias, I want to thank everyone that has made this event what it is and that's building up the startup ecosystem. So really thank you to all. And I want to kind of start with a question for all of you at home and maybe also here. Can you imagine, I don't know if all of you are investors, but can you imagine stock investing being as easy as checking the weather? That's pretty crazy. With StockFink, you actually can. We're a team revolutionizing the stock investing world. And why? This is really a core question to us, and it's for you, it's for people. It's whether you're a frequent investor, whether you're a long-term investor, whether you're just getting started in stock investing and don't really know where to start, we're creating a tool for you. Because we believe that everyone should have equal access to the world's economic engine and to achieving financial freedom. This really goes in line with 3 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals introduced by the United Nations to be reached by 2030. And this also really aligns to our vision. Our vision is to change how and who invests in stocks, and we really want to be leaders in using advanced artificial intelligence technology and financial expertise to create a place where anyone can learn and succeed in stock investing. Just to mention some of the key recognitions and funders for this project that are both regional, national, and international. And this is really where I kind of want to introduce the problem to you all. The problem that we're seeing is that even though 70% of the market is made up by individual investors, and that 70% of orders are executed by algorithms currently, which means that sophisticated tools are available, 70% of individual investors lose money. And why is this? This is because individual investors themselves don't have access to these sophisticated tools. So the solution that we offer at StockFink is really based on these 4 core pillars. It's accessibility, it's knowledge, it's empowering the individual investors, and it's trust, which leads to an increase in people's financial inclusion. You might be wondering how we do this. We do this across our 4 basic services, all based on artificial intelligence and our own proprietary algorithms that, as you can see, the 4 core pillars show up again throughout the 4 main services: accessibility, knowledge, empowerment, and trust. To talk through the business model a little bit, there's an estimated 6 million individual investors in Spain today. If you take 10% of that available market, there's about 600,000 individual investors. If each of those spend 120 euros per year, spent per user across our 4 key services that are 10 euros a month each, we have a projected revenue by 2025 of 72 million, and this is in Spain alone. There are 500 million individual investors worldwide and 95 individual investors in Europe today. Some of the technical validation and traction for our product. This has been done on more than 15,000 predictions. We have an 80% prediction accuracy for a 1% average return and a maximum loss of 2%, which means a 30% average return over 100 trades. Just to talk a little bit about the traction from our platform, which we launched in July of 2022, there's 5,000 premium users, more than 200 premium users. There's been about 75 euros spent per user per year, which means that we've made about 40,000 euros in profits this year. To talk through the team, we're a team of highly competitive, highly qualified, and highly efficient people. 3 of them are PhDs in artificial intelligence, and really all uniting with the passion to increase people's financial freedom and to make stock investing accessible. I don't have much time, so while we're here, we're opening a seed round of 1.5 in February of 2024. Really excited to meet some of you tomorrow. The core objective of the C round is to reach product focus and user acquisition tipping point, and to also have 100% automatization of all of our investment strategies. So thank you all, thank you, and I will take any questions now.
Okay, thank you, Aida. Congratulations for your wonderful company. I think maybe, yes, we have this question in our chat from Mark. He wants to know what is the average yearly investment on your target user? Is the market focused only in Spain?
Well, as you all know, the market is really agnostic, and so are algorithms. So right now, our proof of concept and our algorithm validation, our traction validation is being done in Spain, because at the end of the day, we're from Asturias, so the Spanish market is what we know. But this is worldwide. We actually have users all over the world. And the second question, the first question is, what is the average yearly investment?
Why not offering your solution to professional funds?
Okay.
Maybe?
Yeah, okay. So this is from Angel. This is also a line that we are focusing on as well. It's the B2B. The really core idea and focus for this project is to make stock investing accessible to individual investors, and that's why we're focusing on B2C. But indeed, there are B2B lines as well that can be open and discovered. And I think I'm missing a question from Mark, but maybe he can come by the stand tomorrow and we can discuss it in person. Tomorrow there will also be with me the co-founder for StockThink, who is a full-time professor as well and a catedrático here at the University of Oviedo, who also leads the technical development. So if there are more technical questions around the algorithms, we will be happy to answer them there as well. All right.
Thank you,
Yeah?
Aida. Yes.
And thank you for the questions.
I think that's all for the moment, but maybe I want to remind you also that we have this feedback form so that all the companies can know your comments or questions afterwards. And now we're going to go to a brilliant marketplace. This marketplace is made for fashion brands and retailers, and we're going to go to this company which name is Cycle Platform, with Daniel Sanchez. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Let's start with a video the presentation. Okay, fashion is the most dynamic industry in the world. Any single brand that you can know will renew their entire collections at least 4 times a year, and in case of fast fashion, up to 50. But this has also its consequence. Fashion is also the second most polluting industry in the world, just after oil. But the main problem is not only the CO2 emissions, it's the fashion waste, the textile waste. That's why the European Union is legislating in the 2025-2030 agendas to try to solve this. But the solution may not come through taxes. It should come from internally, the industry. And that's where our value proposition comes in. A new consumption model, a model shift. We need to create a new, to unify primary market and secondary market for the first time, connecting dots till today. In the front, we have an e-commerce, a platform where the users can buy new products coming directly from the best brands and designers worldwide, but having the opportunity to return them back to us at the end of the season. In case so, we will restore, we will repack the products again and to resell to a second user, repeating the same process thanks to reverse logistics. Third user, 4 users, who knows, till the end of the life cycle. And in that moment, we will be in charge of, in the position of recycling those garments according to the new laws of the European Union and certify this with legal documentation. How we can scale this? We need tech. Obviously, tech is very relevant. We need to create unitary codes per every single garment. And in the same line is the European Union. They are legislating, and it will be mandatory in January 2026 for the entire industry to have a unitary code called Digital Product Passport. This unitary code will be mandatory for all the brands. That's what we are creating into the back, a platform, a system where all the brands and all the industry could create these unitary codes in a very simple, easy way according to the new laws. This will permit us to increase our exposure to the whole industry from the back and get an infinity supply into the front, joining for the first time the back and the front. We have detected 2 bottlenecks into the industry, very specific, where we want to connect our software and be sure that we will trace the products in the moment that the brands launch the production to the factories. And at the same time, we want to scale our front, our infinite supply that we are calling, partnering at the same time with retailers worldwide. They will be connected to our platform and we can be easily scaled, not depending on our own inventories, even relying on third-party inventories. And at the same time, along all the life cycle of the garments, we will gather a very relevant data never seen before. Obviously, it's much more convenient for the user, very necessary for industry, and of course, we are acting for the planet. There is a short video pill that summarizes the NDA of the project. So let's keep the fashion pushing, but let's give the fashion huge industry a platform where to be more sustainable and closer to our real circularity. Just to finish, in terms of the project, We created the company. We are very young. We created the company in September 2022, and we were lucky to win the 22 edition of the Investors Day. And we had just closed our pre-seed series that Monday, last Monday, in a record in 24 hours, led by a foreign family office from London, related to a huge bank corporation. So we are immediately preparing our next round, our seed round in January, because they are offering us some tickets in convertible notes. So this is going to be very fast and much more than we were expecting.
Thank you, Daniel, for these incredible and necessary ideas you have. And let's give the opportunity. No, maybe we can give the opportunity to investors to ask you something. Yes, we have a question from Angel Dominguez. Do you have an influencer plan to join your ship? And what are the average of the equality that the founders still control? The percent of equity that founders still control?
Okay. In terms of influencers, yes, we have in our team. She's partner, and she's in charge of. She's the CMO in charge of all the marketing. One of the biggest influencers in Europe in the luxury fashion world, with more than 800,000 followers. And she will be key to help us to join some other influencers. This is focused on the B2C, in the direct-to-consumer engagement, and help us to create this contact with the real consumer. So this strategy in terms of marketing, and with this support of one of the key leaders in the industry, will be key for us. And in terms of the equity, we still have the 84 just before this round. After this round, the 72% will remain in our hands, in the co-founders.
Okay, Daniel. You have another interesting question from Emma. What is the stage of development of the platform, and what do you need for funding for? How much?
Okay, the platform, the B2C platform, which is the e-commerce, is ready. It's ready right now. We launched it some months ago. We are finishing which is the main and the core of the project, is the back software, and we will launch next week. We will be with. We have been with during the last Paris Fashion Week edition with many brands, and we pretend to launch our DDP and do those tests with several brands in the next month. So at some point, the front and the back will connect, probably in the next months. And in terms of fundraising, we were not expecting to launch our next round, our seed round, but as we are having many offers from some other investors that we were not expecting, and especially going this bridge to foreign investors, we were talking at the very beginning in this presentation. We are just considering the different opportunities that we are having on the table. Probably for January, we will see. But it will be around 700,000 and $1 million for the next round.
Also, Nacho, he wants you to share some thoughts of the founding team.
Yeah, the founding team, I guess that all startups, we said the same about the founding team, but we are really impressed about the strength of the team. Many of us, we are coming from many years working in the industry, a very interesting balance between luxury and fast fashion. We have in our background experience many years working in Inditex and in Zara, in H&M and in Mango, which is the stronger companies into the fast fashion, but at the same time we have experience in luxury, working for LVMH, for Loewe, for Chanel Group. So we are taking the best from both worlds, which is very, very, very different one from another. In terms of marketing, in terms of tech, we are covered with a tech partner, very relevant. That this partner was very key to implement some of the most amazing software that Inditex developed by themselves. So we have a very well-balanced team between image curation, which is very relevant to create this hype image in fashion, which is a very difficult industry to enter, but at the same time we have this tech background very connected with our industry.
That's all for the moment.
Okay.
Daniel, thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. And in our next speech, we're going to mix ecology and energy industry by the hand of Nuno Tabeira and his company is Emphasis.
Thank you, Alicia.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you also. Thank you, Asturias Investors Day, for inviting us and to give the opportunity to present Emphasis. I'm Nuno. I'm leading the Emphasis team, and Emphasis is a spin-off from the University of Oviedo, focused on supporting the digital transformation and also the ecological transition from the energy sector. And we are very, very focused on energy management systems for hybrid installations, including energy storage. The story is, and the issue is that basically in the future projections on energy production, but more than, and when we look in 2050, more than 50% of this energy production is based on renewable energies. This is great news because we need to reach the Paris Agreement and also the net zero European policy, but we don't have sun and wind when we want. We have a misalignment, definitely, between the energy production on renewable energies and also the consumption of our behavior of consumption throughout the day. So it's becoming visible that there is this misalignment between generation and consumption. To start managing this situation is needed to adopt energy storage and rapidly. So the solution that ENFU and Emphasis is looking is to sort the problem of the inefficient management of distributed energy assets, including energy storage. Currently, it results in a massive amount of wasted money across power grids. It's millions of euros. An urgent shift to smart networks is needed since millions of euros are lost annually. More than 160 million euros if we look into the numbers from last year in Spain. But Europe or worldwide is even bigger. Future energy grids need to become intelligent, more interconnected and flexible due to the growing and complexity of renewable energy sources and the growth of consumption across different points of the network because of electrical vehicles or mobility or charging stations. So we at Emphasis have developed a solution for this problem because we have created the energy router that we call ENFU. ENFU is a power router that provides a coordinated and seamless integration of distributed energy sources. It routes and manages energy between different energy sources, including batteries, and at the same time optimizes the consumption for its users, always guaranteeing energy for everyone. ENFU interconnects with all energy production and consumption sources and monitors, controls, aggregates, and manages them optimally and efficiently. Having said so, the market opportunity is huge. If you look at the figures only for Europe, we see that between 2022 and 2030, the total revenues on energy storage across Europe will double. So the impact is huge and the opportunity is huge as well. So this is also, ENFU can be applicable to several segments, business segments. I'm giving only an example of one of them, so which are the energy communities. And if you look at the whole opportunity only in Europe, we have more than 8,400 energy communities only in Europe, on the 27 countries. So if you look worldwide, even the United States or other continents, the opportunity is bigger. So ENFU is unique and it has state-of-the-art technology based on all the information and all the development that was being done on the University of Oviedo and also by the team that belongs to the company. ENFU allows its users a reduction in electricity spending and energy bills up to 30%. It allows optimized use of battery and its degradation, and it improves the return on investment because basically energy can be injected into the grid when it's most profitable, and the user can only purchase energy when it's more convenient than the energy stored. With ENFU, the energy management system becomes a source of income, of revenue. So the business model that we have segmented in two business lines, sales lines. The first of advanced control and monitoring of energy storage behind of the meter, so the typical BMSs that it's becoming much more demanded for stationary systems, also for mobile vehicles. And we are already having traction and selling to different partners. The second one is energy management systems for sub-segmented on three segments. Energy communities, self-consumption for industry, and also renewable hybrid plants that is something that will get traction a lot in Europe in the coming years. Because we see lots of photovoltaic parks or wind parks, but we need, as we have seen, we need to store that energy that is produced when customers also need. So we have also to refer that on the last line we have a freebie model. So the customers also have access to basic information, and if they want, they need to have a monthly or quarterly fee to access all the information on their facilities. We have a founding request of €500,000 for a total need of approximately 1 million. And basically, we have already one good thing, which is good news. We have already one investor on board. And basically, the whole amount of investment is need to boost sales, to support a bit of marketing, but basically sales and the development and the whole development of the features needed for the solutions, it's required as well, because there is a continuous improvement process of having new features and new solutions into the FU proposition. Only to highlight that we are already having traction. We are already working with partners and customers to ensure a better world and a much better future for the coming generations, which is something that is very, very important, because renewable energies are very, very important, but the outcome of that needs to be managed, and we are willing to help the whole ecosystem on the energy sector to ensure a better world for the current and coming generations. Having said so, Alicia, I think that let's see if we have questions.
Let's see if we have any question. Yes, I think we have another question of Angel. What are you planning to do with the money you are requesting? How much is the valuation of the company approx?
The pre-money of the company is higher than 1.5 million euros. So, Angel, to address you the question, the money is basically focused on. Basically, we want to enter because there is an opportunity in Iberia. I'm saying Iberia, Spain, and Portugal, to expand the business across energy communities, also renewable hybrid plants, because we see lots when we are on the highway, we see lots of solar plants and photovoltaic parks, but these parks will need to have energy storage. So it will be to keep activating and keep having traction. So marketing, sales, and also at the same time completing the business and the solutions on FU, because there are always additional features. For example, we have algorithms already with the weather forecast, because this helps to manage the parks. But we want to have new algorithms, and also we want to enter in new markets. So we are having in our business plan, Europe is the first opportunity that we see ahead of us, but we are seeing and we are having traction by customers that we were not planning. So in Africa, in South America, we are having customers contacting us because they need or the BMSs or they need the EMSs. So I would say that the opportunity is huge, and it starts on Asturias, on Spain, and it's something that we can commercialize all over the world, because we are compatible with the standards of the power grids across the countries where we need to sell. So take into account that if you want to sell one of our solutions, we need to be compliant with the technical requirements of the. If you want to sell in UK, we need to be compliant with the UK rules, or if you want to sell in Germany, we need to comply with the Germany rules. So there are always two parts, so the commercial and marketing area and the technical and development. Keep doing the product authentication, certification, and adaptation to each of the markets.
Okay, no more questions. No one raising their hand for the moment.
Thank you
very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Maybe you are thinking about investing in a successful startup that works in medtech and pharma. That's why we have today here Rafael Permuy, and he's going to give us more details about Neurotech company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank the organizers of this incredible event. Believe me, there are more than 25 people involved in the organization, and behind the cameras, I see now more than 10 technicians and some other people out there, so it's an incredible effort. Thank you for that. As a startup, we are really proud of the level of commitment in this event. Thank you very much. So go straight forward to Neurotech company. I'm one of the founders, Rafael, as was presented. What we are working in, or not. Everything has to be with the blood-brain barrier. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but believe me if I can tell you that this beautiful gift that we have to protect our brain or our central nervous system, when you want to do something to try to repair what's going on in that central nervous system, is against you. So every treatment that you want to put in the brain or in the central nervous system is probably going to fail because it's not able to achieve that space. This company, Neurostage, is absolutely focused on trying to deliver new ways to act in the central nervous system. We have two main approaches. One is related clearly with the way we manage the CSF, the cerebrospinal fluid that covers the brain and the rest of the space, but also the way we are able to deliver drugs in that space. In the last 43 years, there were no significant improvements in neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. Nobody was able to try to tackle the disease because the drugs are not achieving the place where they have to act. That's why we are focused there. Just to make a comparison, more than 100 drugs has been approved in oncological diseases. How we are going to tackle the first release, the first launch that we are foreseeing, it's called Inversores, and it's absolutely focused on drug delivery system. We want to place the drug in the cerebrospinal fluid. We are going to do so implanting a device at subcutaneous level on the back of the patient. We are going to put the liquid, the cerebrospinal fluid, inside the device, and the antibody, the drug that has to play a role, is going to act inside the device. And this is very important because if we are able to capture the drug inside the device, as you can see there, the orange buttons are the drugs, the antibodies, and the green points that you can see there, point that is fluid getting back to the brain, is going to be captured inside the device. This is very important from a safety point of view. There are many drugs that could be effective, but the level of doses that you have to put in the cerebrospinal fluid could cause fatal consequences on the people. That's the reason why most of the studies has been stopped, has been interrupted because of safety concern. Where we are in terms of development. For those of you that are not familiar with the TRL concept, let's put it in phases. We are in the preclinical stage. We already have some good promising results in mice models, and at the end of the year, we are starting also some trials at big animals level. We are going to use the same design and the same materials that are going to be implemented afterwards at human level, right? So the same materials, the same design, but at human level. As you can see there, the size of the device, it's already quite appealing because it's lower than some other devices that are implemented in the body, such as intrathecal pumps coming from Medtronic or some others. And you can see a picture there about the size. Are we alone in this space? Luckily, no. We have some advantages compared with some other competitors or some other approaches, but we are not alone. There are some other companies that you can see there that are acting at CSF level. This is very important because it's a space that many pharma companies and medtech companies are willing to consider. Our business model is precisely that. We want to offer this development to a pharma company or a medical device company in order to be sold worldwide. We are not going to do the commercialization of the product. Our business model relies on licensing fee, licensing agreement with them. We have some other developments out there, also acting in neurological conditions, depending the type of condition, and based on our knowledge of the catheter in order to move the fluid, or also the membranes that are able to retain the drug, we have some other developments in place. We are a team of people quite wide in terms of capacities and competencies, some scientific, some others more in regulation and business development, looking for agreements. And in terms of funding and developments, we were able to mobilize both from public support, but also from investors, up to 4 million euros, as you can see. And what we are looking right now in this event, in this precise moment, around 800,000 euros to complete some of these studies. We have a commitment of 200,000 of them, and we are open to consider some other investors to join us in this fascinating journey in order to try to tackle neurological conditions. Thank you for your time. I'm open to your questions.
Thank you, Rafael. Let's see if we have any question to your incredible pitch to know about. Yes. How much money and time do you think you will need until you get the device sold to a big pharma to go to the market?
Yeah, that's a very good one. It will depend, okay? It will depend. Depends on when the potential client, the pharma company or the medical device company, remember we are looking for both potential clients, are going to try to join us. It's quite usual that in pharma companies, they are opening certain agreements on an early stage. So potentially they will say, guys, I want you to be focused on this particular disease. I'm going to put part of the money in order to help you to continue in this particular development, okay? Remember the device could be applied to Alzheimer's, Huntington, Parkinson, and many other neurodegenerative diseases. The first one, Inversores, okay? So it depends. If they are going to support us from the very beginning, or if they want to wait till we have certain results in humans. It will depend. Between 1 year, potentially, if they say, okay, this is quite promising, I want to acquire the license agreement right now, and I will with you in the human phase, or if they will say, I will wait a couple of years in order to obtain an agreement once that you have the results at human level. It will depend. There are some evidences out there in the market, in early stage, or maybe later.
Okay, Rafael. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
And now let's go. Maybe next year we are going to call Álvaro Vallespín because he's an expert in event planning.
Hello.
Don't you? Thank you for coming. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
The set
Yes.
is all yours.
Thank you, thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Álvaro and I'm the CEO of Evento, the future of event planning. Our vision is to create a world of meaningful human interaction through seamless event planning for B2B and B2C users. 3 years ago, we launched a WordPress MVP platform for space rentals, serving small to medium B2C events. Our main focus initially were outdoor spaces for B2C gatherings and events. For the first 2 years, we witnessed an organic growth in the demand from companies and agencies alike for unique spaces for events, introducing the need for a highly scalable, automated, low-touch Airbnb-like platform. In 2022, we launched our very own online marketplace built in-house from the ground up, and including a new vertical for complementary services for events. Now, in 2023, we can proudly claim we have built a market-first 360 event planning solution with an integrated vertical of unique spaces and complementary services for events, allowing for an agile and seamless, high-quality event planning experience. Problem statement, well, the problem is quite straightforward. The fact that the supply is completely dispersed. Let's say you want a specific type of indoor space, with an outdoor space, you want a specific catering, and you want a workshop activity. There is no single place online where you can just buy it all from a single point of sale. And yes, there are agencies that do it for you, but usually those packed deals are expensive and slow, and many of them have limited capacity for new or one-off clients. Even if you or your colleagues do manage to find the time, it's just an extremely time-consuming and painful process. The solution is Evento. Evento is the solution. We are an online marketplace for automated and seamless event planning, and we facilitate coordination and creation of events. We are not an event planning agency. We're focusing on providing a high-tech 360 solution for event planning. Why now? Well, it's never been a better time for an online marketplace for event planning, given the fact that hybrid work and work from home has become part of our lives. In multiple countries, it has become part of the labor law. Office space and capacity is also decreasing. And with that, collaboration, productivity, and engagement between colleagues has fallen. And so the need for focused and creative environments is now bigger than ever. We also know that event agencies struggle to meet rising demand in event planning. For the aforementioned reasons, and with a seamless agile planning experience, our 360 event planning solution offers, it is a no-brainer for agencies and companies directly. We reduce planning time whilst offering high-quality events from beginning to end across the country. The market opportunity, the market is huge. We're on a path to digitize a new industry and become the leading platform for event planning. Our beachhead market of B2C events proved the market need and presented further opportunities. With our expanded target sectors of B2B events, team buildings, meetings, and workshops, and chosen geographical locations that you can see there on the slide, we have estimated a serviceable, obtainable market of over 11 billion euros, not to mention the 12.3 billion euro total addressable market of the corporate events industry in Spain alone. The platform answers the market need. It's all about the product. And the problem you and I have when we're trying to plan an event, to organize an unforgettable event, Evento provides consolidation with all verified users in one place, a unique selection of spaces and matching services under one simple search. It is intuitive and fast. You select your event type, provide a location, choose your selection, manage, pay, and communicate seamlessly. And the beauty of it all is that the hard, time-consuming work is done for you. Search accuracy, rating and reviews, smart suggestions, pricing, and much more. This is our roadmap to become the European market leader for 360 event planning within this new category in the events industry. With expansions to LATAM and Central Europe projected within the next 3 years, this is a step towards becoming the global Airbnb of events. This year, we're closing our seed round, having received a total funding to date of 417K in the form of investments and convertible loans. And we're looking for an additional 300K that will extend our runway until our Series A, planned for Q4 2024. We're very lucky to have such a talented senior team in the company already at such an early stage, with very broad backgrounds and experiences in both corporate companies as well as startups, coming from renowned companies such as Google, Apple, Airbnb, or Burberry, just to mention a few. So thank you for your time today. I'll be happy to answer any questions and provide further details via email, or feel free to call me directly. You've got my number on the bottom right of the screen, and my details, the email is there as well.
Thank you, Álvaro.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Any lucky questions?
I don't know if this is yours or of the pitch before.
User
No,
acquisition cost.
Yes.
Could be me.
Yeah. Yes. What is the user acquisition cost approx, and how much is the average money spent by the user? How many deals a month?
One at a time.
Yes. Okay.
One at a time.
First one. What is the user acquisition cost approx, and how much is the average money spent by the user?
Okay, so the lifetime value. Okay, so the CAC, the cost of acquisition, there's two different types of users. We've got the guest user, or the event planner that uses the platform to plan their events. That actually, until this year, we grew organically. We did not spend a dime on paid marketing, so it was free. And this year, we've started investing in paid marketing because organic growth can only be stretched so far. And we've got about a cost of about 27 euros for the CAC of the guest user. And they are recurring users now because we're targeting companies and event planning agencies rather than B2C, who spend less money. And the lifetime value, they recur at least 2 or 3 times. So we get 3 times the investment within the first year for such a low cost of acquisition on social media marketing. Then the user of the host side, the provider, the supply, the host and the service provider, those are a commercial process. It's not marketing. It's based on lead generations that we create, and then we target them with a commercial team, the sales team. And the cost there is 27 euros per space. The lifetime value of a space, you can understand that if an average booking value that we have right now is 600 euros, you could really practically say that the CAC of acquiring a space is peanuts. We have them with us for about 2 years, and so comparing the amount of bookings we get for each space per year, which is about 6 to 7 bookings per year per space, with that average booking value, the cost of acquisition is almost inexistent.
Yes, and Angel also wants to know how many deals a month are you making right now?
So I can give you the number of 2022, which was an organic year. We didn't invest in paid marketing. We received close to 3 million euros worth of booking requests. Now, whether we close those or not, it depends on if the space is available. It depends on many different factors, which obviously we're working on, like calendar synchronization, making sure that if it says it's available, it is, instant book, introduction of instant book so that they can just purchase directly without waiting for approval from the host. But I think that answers the question.
Yes, and also Mark, he wants to know, he asked you to share some current business traction.
So business traction, okay, so we've grown about 50% year on year over the last 2.5 years. Remember, 3 years. Remember that we had a very difficult time during COVID, and we still grew, which is quite amazing, if you keep in mind also that we didn't do any paid marketing. Business model-wise, right now we have a commission-based business model. So we commission 90% of every booking to the provider, the host and the service provider. We do not commission anything to the guest. And now we're introducing a subscription-based model for the hosts. And next year we're going to be launching a subscription-based model for the guests. So all the event agencies and corporate companies that use our platform to save time and organize more events in different geographies, that has a cost. And we will be limiting the number of bookings a guest can make, and they can subscribe to make more bookings per month. 50% growth year on year would be the answer to that.
Okay, that's all for the moment. Alvaro, thank you.
You have my email? You can send me an email and ask me more questions.
Okay, Alvaro.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations for your work. I have to say Awanea is not only a company. Awanea is a real movement that transforms a product like water into a tool to restore our oceans, our world. And we are going to know much more about Awanea because we have here Alex Dakov. Thank you for coming, Alex. We're looking forward to know all about Awanea.
Thank you so much.
The space is all yours.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Before I start, I want to ask you one question. What is the only thing that we can find in each one of the beaches of the entire planet? Plastics and microplastics. You know, they say that water is life, but the way that we consume water had turned into the opposite. This is the reason that we create Nia Water. Not just as an alternative to plastic bottles, but a brand that creates a movement that turns a product such as water into a tool to restore our oceans, planting hundreds of corals every day, every month around the planet. But not just that, uniting, connecting, and inspiring thousands of companies and millions of people around the globe. Do you know the problem? Meanwhile, I'm talking and I'm making this speech, there will be more than 4 million plastic bottles opened around the world, and less than 9% of them will be recycled. New generations are looking for brands that bring alternatives, that are connected with their values, that are bringing impact to the world. That's the reason that we create our solution. Mineral water from the springs of Asturias in the most sustainable and ecological packaging of the world, aluminum, 100% recyclable, the most circular material in the entire world. A unique brand that interacts with environmental projects and consumers. We're selling B2B and B2C, B2B direct to hospitality chains, music festivals, hotel chains, congresses. We're selling to every bar, restaurant, and cafeteria in every province of the 4 countries that we distribute, which are Spain, Portugal, Chile, and Costa Rica. And we're also selling direct to customer in our e-commerce and on Amazon. We are on a market of 200,000 millions worldwide, but we're in a growth market of 9% every year. And what is our competitive advantage? What is our big difference? In each one of our cans is written down that if you take a picture with it and upload it to your social media, we're going to plant a coral on your name. And we're going to do it and plant thousands of corals every month. But not just that, we're going to give you a certificate. We're going to invite you to plant the corals with us. And we're going to transfer the value to all our customers, music festivals, hotel chains. They're going to be they're going to be the responsibles of planting the corals with their customers. Moreover, we have an amazing supply chain that can help us expand all over the world. And the most important thing, we're a congruent brand. We started making every can carbon neutral. We are aligned to the SDGs since the very beginning, and now we are also B Corp. Our clients, big hotel chains such as Nobu, Robinsons, Mandarin Oriental, amazing concerts such as Beyoncé or Coldplay, or big catering such as Sodexo. What is our competitive advantage? What is the big difference? The more cans we sell, the more people interact with us. The more people interact with us, the more corals we plant. And we create a movement. We create a snowball effect in which the base of the snow is the environmental impact. The more environmental impact we grow, the more engagement we have with the ocean, the more sales we bring. We are two founders, Fernando, who came from the startup and financing world, me that I come from sustainability and for project management, with two amazing advisors, Marina and Jose Ignacio. What we had achieved till now, this is our sales growth on the last quarters, but we had achieved more than 700,000 billing. We have more than 40K recurring customers buying every month, more than 200 customers in the 4 countries that we sell. And we are bringing every month at least 25 new customers. We are accelerated by Lanzadera, which is the biggest Spanish accelerator program. Our future, we double the sales, we tripled the sales last year, we doubling the sales this year, and we doubling the sales again next year, achieving the break even and being profitable on 2025, reaching an average of 16% EBITDA for the end of the 2025. Our seed round is 300,000 plus 200 is going to go on public equity. Till now, we have committed 180,000. It's going by convertible notes, and it's going to develop more product lines, to expand on more countries such as the US or Puerto Rico, or to continue growing and improving our marketing and sales team. And the most important thing, we are impact. We are impact brand. We had planted more than 2,000 corals in between Pacific Ocean and Mediterranean. We are B Corp, and we align to 4 of the SDGs. And each of every can that is produced has its carbon compensed and reduced. And that's what we are. That is NEA brand. We are a profitable investment, but moreover, we are a story to tell. We are a story to be proud of. We are a marine ecosystem being restored that in the future you will be able to take your grandkids and show them the marine life that you bring alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Is it empty?
I'm drinking a little bit.
Okay, we can have some water, no, after the online session. Okay, let's see. We have a question from Angel. It will be nice to hear a little bit about your international plan. What is the value of the company approx?
The international plan is going in each country is being different. In some of the countries, we are working with importers. In some of the countries, such example of the United States or Puerto Rico, we are doing our own importation. So we are having a subsidiary company that is helping us to import the product into the country so we can gain more margin and also do our own distribution into the different channels. So it's a little bit more narrow strategy going on strategy place by place. I'll be happy to go deeper in this type of questions if you email me at alex@aguanea.com.
Of course, they will do it, I'm sure. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're moving a little bit, and we are going to hear about therapies based on the microbiota to improve human health. And we have here this company, it's Microbible, and we're going to know more details by the hand of Claudio Hidalgo. Thank you, Claudio. Welcome.
Thank you, Alicia, very much. And thank you, everyone, for getting this meeting together for today, which is a fantastic opportunity for us as startup companies. So really, Microbible Therapeutics, it's a biotech company at preclinical stage, which it's developing nature-backed solutions to improve human health. And with that, I mean we are developing novel biological drugs based on human bacteria to address unmet challenges in human disease. So right now, we are currently living on a pandemic, which is the spread of antibiotic resistance worldwide. So nowadays, 33,000 deaths per year happen in Europe, and which is more worrying is that 40% of those deaths are generated by multi-drug resistant pathogenic bacteria, which are already resistant to the last line of antibiotics, meaning that there is no solution for those patients. Among all the different infections caused by those multi-drug resistant bacteria, we are currently focused on urinary tract infection in women, because it actually affects almost 50% of women of middle age, and oftentimes there is a recurrency of the infection. It also generates a high cost for the health system in the US and in Europe. And actually, the reservoir of that multi-drug resistant pathogenic bacteria is on the gut. So it's at the end of the intestine, and from there is a cross-contamination to the vaginal cavity and to the bladder in women. How are we addressing this problem? So we're really focused on developing novel biological drugs based on bacteria from our microbiome. I don't know how familiar you are with the microbiome, but it's really the trillions of bacteria that we have in our body. And we can actually use those to improve human health, because the microbiome naturally has influence in our health based on the production of essential compounds like vitamin, amino acids, and other, and it also modulates our immune system and confer protection against those pathogens. So what we've done, so we've built the company as a platform company, integrating bioinformatics, microbiology, and molecular biology that enable us to develop our first biological drug, MVT-201, which is actually ready for clinical trials next year. And this drug, which is based on a specific bacterial consortia, will be able to address recurrent urinary tract infection in women. But how does it work, right? How can a bacteria fight another bacteria, a pathogenic one? So really, this product, it's an oral capsule, like many other drugs, that is manufactured under a GMP facility. And when you take the drug, all the different bacteria which is inside will colonize the intestine of the patient and will eradicate the multi-drug resistant pathogenic bacteria. So really ablate the pathogen, repopulate the intestine by colonization. So it's really a mechanism of competitive exclusion mechanism of action, so to speak. So how is the technology? So there is actually no risk on this technology. We've gone through all the preclinical experiments that we need to do. We are finalizing right now that with the last animal models. So we are ready to start the clinical trials next year, hopefully by summer. We've now been in touch with the Spanish regulatory agency. We have the clinical trial design ready to submit, the IND application, and we have new IP filing by the end of this year. So really, all the preclinical development of this product is done. It's being finalized today, and the business model of this drug will be out-licensing the drug to a pharma company after 2025, when we show efficacy results on a phase 2 clinical trial. Beyond this product, we are developing novel modalities of microbiota-based product, which is complete microbiome, bacterial consortia, or even personalized therapies modulating the microbiome. And for this last product modality, the personalized therapies, we already have an agreement with a medical group located here in Spain, which is actually one of our investors. Beyond the product modalities, we have different therapeutic areas. So there's 100 diseases that has been connected with the microbiome, but we are actually focused on infectious disease, as we just mentioned, oncology and dermatology. Oncology is one of the hot spots right now where you can actually modulate the immune response in immunotherapy to boost the immune system and make it more and increase the efficacy of the immunotherapy. Also reduce toxicity of oncological treatments, and dermatology will be more connected with autoimmune disorders and modulating the immune system. So in order to be able to support our clinical trials next year and push ahead the other preclinical assets in oncology and dermatology, we'll be looking at raise our Series A of 6 million euros. Until today, so we built the company in 2016 with 5 scientific co-founders from a National Research Council in a research institute located in Asturias, plus a business development guy. Right now we have 10 people with a high qualified team. We received the Seal of Excellence 2 times from the European Union. We've raised close to 2 million euros in equity. And we have global partnerships internationally in Europe, US, and Spain, of course. And with that, I will open time for any questions.
Maybe we have any questions. Claudio, thank you very much. Yes, we have here one question from Angel. He wants to know, what are you expecting from investors and what are you offering to join your project? Valuation of the company?
Yeah. So we are looking for something more than the money, so to speak, and to be honest. So we've talked about raising close to 6 million euros to support clinical trials, push our preclinical assets, and that will support the company over the next 2 or 3 years, considering doing the clinical trials in Spain and Europe. But beyond the money, we think the new investors we get on board on the team, we like them to provide some more expertise on drug development, regulatory, or even in the company expansion to the US, if possible. So the company valuation is something that we can discuss on a follow-up meeting if it's of interest, but I think we'll be looking at the valuation between 15 to 20 million euros, considering our current IP portfolio, the 3 new patents we'll be filing over the next 3 or 4 months, and the preclinical assets being developed to clinical trials.
Okay, Claudio, thank you very much. Congratulations for
Thank
your
you.
brilliant pitch. I have to tell you, sometimes we get crazy when we want to do an online advertising in several platforms. I have to tell you, we have the answer. Who has the answer? He's Rubén Llames, and he comes from Hexagon. Thank you. Welcome, Rubén.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Rubén Llames, CMO of Hexagon, an AI automated tool to create, manage, and analyze digital advertising. It's a pleasure to be here this evening with you. Quite a few numbers, right? Let me digest them for you. This year, we have an advertising market of $740 billion, almost 60% of it just in digital advertising. This tendency will only increase year by year. That's right, we are living in a key moment for digital advertising, and that's why we are here this evening. But the question is, how can we take advantage of such an opportunity? You can do it either the traditional way, investing in specialists, time and money, or you can implement the latest technology available to face this challenge. Welcome to Hexagon. What can Hexagon do for you? Create ads in an automated way and optimize them through AI in any of these platforms, so you won't need to hire specialized staff, and produce multi-platform reports in just one click and get a single bill for all platforms, including Spanish VAT, so it won't take you that much time. And there's even more. We are the first tool to integrate influencer marketing campaigns. As you can see, it's a huge market, and our integration with Be-Influencer gives us access to 240 million influencers globally, with whom you can carry out automated advertising campaigns. Maybe you are wondering what automated influencer marketing campaigns means for us. For us, it's a simple question, is to make easy that process. Through our browser, you search and pick the influencer that fit your business best. You can hire them with just one click and automatically gather the data from their actions. You don't have to talk with them or make any other actions with them. And there's not everything. We commit to integrate the main utilities available in the advertising market. In the next few months, we'll integrate Jump, allowing the use of dynamic email marketing that can change every time a user reads an email. Convinced? Not yet, really? Okay, listen to this. Hexagon offers a professional service capable of saving you 60% of the time you dedicate to digital advertising without the need to pay specialists. Just do the math. And who are we? We launched Hexagon 10 months ago, and we currently have 10 employees in Spain and 3 in the Dominican Republic. We plan on expanding across the UK, Mexico, and USA. So we have just opened a second round of investment for that. And we have already taken the first steps to achieve this goal by allowing our clients to use the 10 main currencies worldwide. Lastly, we haven't talked about money yet. How much does Hexagon cost? You can register for free. You have the QR there. And you don't need to pay for a monthly subscription. We are so sure about our solution that we just charge a percentage of our client result, making it a win-win deal. But does it really work? It's easy to discover. Just register right now and try it. Remember, it's free. Thank you, and sing with us.
Thank you very much, Ruben.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Yes, we have one question here from Victoria. How to go but wish all founders access to sex? I think that's a wish for everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for organizing this. Okay. I think this is a message for you and for everyone, so I have to thank you, Ruben.
Hey, you're welcome.
Congratulations for your project and
Thanks.
your ideas. Thank you.
Thank you.
And okay, so it's time to say goodbye. I have to thank you to connect with us in this online session. As Brigitte told us, I think we have to think a lot how important and the joy we will have if we invest and we do give wins to these fantastic 10 companies we heard today. Thank you very much. I invite you 2 things. Remember to complete this feedback form you have, because we have some questions here wondering how to contact to these companies. So you have this form. It's easy if you complete it and then you send it back to us. And I have to invite you, if you are in Asturias or you are planning to come, we will continue tomorrow our Asturias Investors Day in Laboral Centro de Arte from 9 o'clock in the morning. We wait you there. Thank you.